Hello, YouTube world. Hello. So, I just want to point a few things. Um, and, well, it would seem that for a second time in recent weeks, Microsoft is punishing me for, as far as I can tell, for what amounts to not, I'm being punished for not showing nudity, for not showing myself in the nude online. Microsoft is punishing me. Yeah, I know, it sounds crazy, because it is. Um, so here's the rundown. Here's the summary, and then I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. But I'll just give a summary first. My live streams very often don't get very many views, if any at all. Mysteriously, some of them do quite well, though, actually. So I don't know what's up with that. But anyways, like this one, like nobody's watched it so far, which is fine. But you know, if I wanted to get views onto this live stream, I found that a very effective way of doing that is by posting links to the live stream with a short description of what it's all about in what is called Microsoft Teams meetings. Okay, so Microsoft has a video conferencing free software which is called Microsoft Teams. You know, like sports teams, kind of. Okay, Teams, and it's largely taken over from another one. I can't remember the predecessor, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyways, what I'm trying to say here is that I can share links to a live stream on Microsoft Teams, and um, it just so happens that there's a large community on Microsoft Teams of gay men who like to, let's just say it, masturbate online with their webcam open, with each other watching. That's what's going on in these team meetings. All of a sudden, there's people watching this live stream, and it's getting racy. Um, so these Microsoft team meetings have guys using their webcams jerking off together. That's what's going on. Okay. Um, but I've found that I can go on there and post links to my content, to my YouTube content, to my live streams, and I can get views that way. Like, like it'll be quite a substantial increase in the number of views if I post, like I said, a link to the live stream and then a short link, maybe just one sentence describing what that live stream is about, and post that into these team meetings, because they have a chat room with each meeting. So post it into the chat room of a handful of these meetings. There's several of them. Oh God. Okay. So so that's what I've done, and I've got views. The thing is, now for a second time of me doing that, Microsoft is saying that I'm violating their terms of service, and that I have to sign in. I'm already signed in. You have to be signed in to your Microsoft account in order to access Microsoft Teams. So I'm in fact already signed in. Not only that, but my computer, I'm signing into Microsoft when I'm starting Windows, because that's how I have it set up. So I'm signed in already, in a sense, doubly signed in to my Microsoft account when I'm doing this. They want me to sign in yet again. And when I do that, when I go to sign in, like they're asking me to do, they will not let me, saying that I've violated their terms of service and that I have to enter a code that they're going to send to a phone number. Of course, then we run into the problem of they're not going to send the code to a number if it's a text now number, which is the only phone number that I have. Okay. But they point out that it doesn't have to be your phone number. They'll send this code to any phone number that you request, but they're just not, they don't tell you this, but this is how it is, just not a text now number. So I only have a text now number. I had a friend here earlier today. I thought, oh, I should have asked him to get this code sent to him so I could get into my email. No, he has a text now number, like everyone I know, pretty much. Because they're all like homeless people, or if they're not homeless, they're low income. So everyone I know just about has, that's what they use, is a text now number. So, but these fucking companies don't want to send the code to a text now number. So you're SOL. And so I can't get into my email until I find somebody who has a phone, who's in my presence, hanging out with me, um, who has a phone that is not a text now number. And so until that time, I'm locked out from my. It's my primary email is through Microsoft. It's Hotmail. I had it since the internet was invented. So I don't have any numbers in my email address. It's Tommy_Thompson@hotmail.com. I know for a while they were talking about that they were going to get rid of Hotmail, and that your email address would change. They backed off from doing that. How stupid. Isn't Hotmail the coolest sounding domain name for an email? Anyways, yeah, I'm a Hotmail bitch. Email me. You know? So Microsoft came to their senses on that. Like, why would they want to abandon that brand? But anyways, yeah, I've had that email address since the 90s when the internet was new. That's why there's no numbers after it. Incidentally, there's another Tommy Thompson in this world who has almost the identical email address, except his one has 2 underscores between Tommy and Thompson. Okay, but 2 underscores, don't do this, people, by the way. Never have an email address that has 2 underscores right next to each other, because 2 underscores looks like 1 underscore. I mean, an underscore is just a line. So if there's 2 underscores, it's just a longer line. But how does somebody know that that's 2 underscores? They might just think it's 1 underscore. So I get his email all the fucking time. I'm going off on a tangent, but I get this other guy, and we've talked, because I get his email so much I was forwarding it to him. Like, we've talked online just to compare our lives. He's the same age as me. He has the same name as me, almost the same email address. He lives in Scotland. Okay, well, on my mother's side, my family is from Scotland, and I guess that's where the similarities end. Because I've had documents emailed to me that are meant for this person, regarding the sale of his house, regarding his marriage, regarding his job, regarding his all sorts of things, private things. Like, I've had emails, like, quite demanding that I participate in a survey about some financial assistance I received from the government of Scotland, and I'm like, do you really want me to participate? Like I'm not that person, you know, and it doesn't stop. It's been going on for years, but and it makes a mockery, actually, really, of any notion of security. I mean, a lot of these are containing sensitive information from top financial institutions, and they're sending. I mean, I once got an email with the guy's. It had in the email his security question to some online system that he needed to access, and the answer. Like, I know his security answer of his favorite pet or whatever it was. Like, that's so inappropriate. And the companies that send them are actually quite belligerent about it. like they're adamant that this is the email address that they need to be sending it to. It's like, yeah, you're not seeing that it's 2 underscores, bitch. It's just this other person has 2 underscores between their first name and their last name, and I only have 1. But anyways, getting off topic. It's kind of funny though. I mean, it actually shows, like, the level of support that this person has received, and he owns a house. Like, wow. the welfare state is much bigger in Scotland. Like if I had a modicum of that, I probably wouldn't be living in poverty that I live in Canada. But anyways, that's off the topic. Um, what am I trying to say here? So I'm going on to these Microsoft Team group meetings, which are meetings of guys that go online to jerk off to my live streams, to drive viewers there. Because you know what? I am actually pretty fucking hot. I am actually pretty fucking cute. And who's to say that this isn't erotic content? Especially when I'm dancing and that. And if you listen to the lyrics of my songs, it is homoerotica. I even for the song Erotica by Madonna, I have a homoerotic interpretation with Justin Bieber in it. So, just because I'm not jerking off myself in these live streams, I'm not exposing my genitalia. I'm not there's or anybody else's for that matter. There's no nudity in these live streams, right? Like, I mean, you wouldn't be allowed to. It would be violating YouTube's terms of service if I was start to do that in the middle of a live stream. But it doesn't mean that it's not still having a certain degree of sexuality in the live stream. In um, and so other people go into these team meetings, these Microsoft Team meetings, chat rooms, which is meetings of guys jerking off online. Other people go on there and they post links to their content that they're live streaming on other platforms other than Microsoft Teams. Um, so one of them is called Whereby. Okay, that's a common one, which is also like a video conferencing software on like online software that guys are very often using to have these meetings for jerking off. Okay, so there's Whereby, there's a number of them. I can't think of them all right now, but there are several there are several websites that platforms that offer a platform for people to put video streaming content on, whether they're doing that and using that for sexual content or otherwise. Maybe there's several platforms, and people are going into these teams meetings, chat rooms, and posting the links to all their various uh, live streaming content that they're doing on these other platforms. And as far as I know, they're not getting reprimanded for doing that. So, but when I do it, Microsoft turns around and says that I'm violating their terms of service by posting links to my live streams of my content on YouTube. Or sometimes I'll post it for something going on Rumble. Same thing, basically. Um, okay, the only difference between my live streams that I'm posting these links to and the other people's live streams that they're posting links to in these chat rooms, the only difference between the two types of live streams is that my live stream has no nudity and no sexual content. It's not pornographic. Okay, my live streams and my content in general on YouTube and on Rumble, none of it is pornographic in nature. It may be erotic. Some of it is erotic, but none of it is pornographic. Um, and so there's no nudity. Okay, and there's no imagery of me jerking off. That's not what I do. Okay, but so because that's not what's going on in these live streams that I'm doing on YouTube and Rumble, Microsoft is saying that by me posting links to those live streams on their Teams app, that means that I'm violating their terms of service. So that they'd be cool with it. They'd be fucking cool with it if I was jerking off. If I was posting links to me on doing a live stream on another platform other than Microsoft Teams, and it was a link to me on another platform, and I was jerking off in that video content on that other platform, posting a link to it on Microsoft Teams, they wouldn't bat an eye. They wouldn't have an issue. But because I'm not jerking off, because I'm fully clothed, I'm not showing any nudity, that is violating Microsoft's terms of service. That's what it comes down to. That's the only difference between the live streams that I'm posting links to and the live streams that other guys are posting links to in these Microsoft Teams chat rooms. I mean, it doesn't Microsoft doesn't come out and say that, but that is effectively how their policies are being operationalized. That is, other people are not getting these sanctions, but I am, and the only difference is my stuff is not pornographic and theirs is. So, what do you what do you think of that? Like, how do you make sense of that? I mean, that's crazy. Um, and it's serious because I'm locked out from my email until I fucking find someone who has a phone number that is not a text now number. So it's also discriminating against the poor, and it's outrageous. It is outrageous. Um, this is happening. I think another thing it's important to mention. I'm sure that this is happening because it's what I'm posting on Microsoft Teams, links to these live streams on YouTube and Rumble. Somebody in these group meetings is flagging it and reporting it to Microsoft, complaining about it, that I'm spamming their group with links to my content. Okay? But that's what's going on. That is what's going on in these Microsoft Teams chat rooms, is people are posting. That's like the main purpose of it, is that people are posting links to their live streams of themselves jerking off online. It's just I'm posting links to content of myself. Only difference is, in my case, I'm not jerking off in it. And so somebody's complaining and and actually being successful in getting Microsoft to block me from accessing my email until they can send a code to a number that is not a text now number. And like, how outrageous is that? Think about that. And the thing is, a lot of people in these Microsoft Teams jerk off group meeting chat rooms, a lot of people have indicated to me that they appreciate the links that I'm posting. They like it. After all, I'm getting a lot of views by doing this. So apparently they like it. They like it, and they tell me that they like it. Okay? So what's the problem? Other people are posting links to themselves on other platforms doing things, and I'm sure people like to watch that stuff too. So they do. But people like to watch what I'm posting too. So they do. It's the only difference is mine is not pornographic. And I think that it's not a coincidence that I am a Trump supporter. I mean, somewhat of a Trump supporter. I'm a mega movement supporter. And so, I did a live stream recently where I was lambasting the left regarding the murder of Charlie Kirk. And you know, so that involved saying, for me to say all sorts of politically incorrect things, and I'm sure some members of the LGBT community who are in these teams meetings online has come across some of that content from me since I was posting it up in their forum, and they don't like it because they disagree with it politically. They're triggered by Trump, and so this would be another motivating factor for why they would be flagging it and reporting these posts. But for Microsoft to turn around, this is the problem. Haters are gonna hate, right? People are gonna target me unfairly. It's never gonna stop. It's been going on my whole life. But Microsoft doesn't need to act on that. Like, why is Microsoft turning around and saying, "Oh yeah, you have to prove who you are by signing in and putting in a code that we're gonna send to you, but not on a phone that's with text now"? Like, why do they do that? Why don't they just say, what? Like, what is this person doing? Why are you flagging it? Okay, they're posting a link to themselves live streaming on another platform. That's what everybody's doing in these Microsoft Teams meetings. So why do we need to do anything to this person and restrict this person? Yeah. Just because I'm not jerking off in the live stream, just because I'm not showing nudity. That's what it comes down to. So why, like, that's so stupid that Microsoft would actually go along with that, right? Just because somebody's reporting it because they don't like it and because they're triggered. So just just chew on that. Like, it's pretty fucking ridiculous. I mean, it's kind of funny in a way. It is actually kind of funny. It shows the absurdity of big tech and social media, the absurdity of their policies. Um, it also is demonstrating how Orwellian our society has become. All this stuff about reporting people, flagging their videos and reporting them. Like, we're living in a society full of fucking rats who will rat you out and to Big Brother. And of course, that was one of the themes in the novel 1984 by George Orwell. And it's, you know, so there's all this awareness. There's been recently a huge amount of growing awareness about the problem of bullying in schools. But ironically, at the same time of this growing awareness of the problem of bullying, we see big giants like Microsoft, and we've seen it from Google as well, that they enable bullying because these are essentially my bullies, my haters who are being petty and flagging this content. But Microsoft is emboldening them and encouraging them to do that by actually acting on these flags and restricting me. You know, so the whole thing is rotten. But I mean, I can live without accessing my email for a couple days until I'm able to get somebody who does not have a text now number to get the code. Like, I'll survive. It's just an irritant and something annoying. But I so I'm not really that upset about it. But I just think it's worth pointing out. Like, wow, we've actually reached the point where big tech social media would be punishing one of its users for not showing nudity or pornographic content in a live stream. For not doing that, you're getting in trouble from big tech. Like, what a fucking upside down world are we living in? What, it's outrageous. Um, by the way, I've got 2 new really cool downloads of remixes of some of my favorite songs, and I'm going to be making videos for them momentarily. So I've got new content on the way. I just wanted to let everyone know about this crazy fucking situation. Peace out, y'all.